You've probably seen commercials for various products that claim to unclog your drains, clean your pipes, or even remove years of food buildup. But do any of these as seen on TV solutions actually work? Well, we're about to find out. There's a multitude of products floating around that blast air down your drain and supposedly unclog it. But how effective are they? Let's find out with a little product called Plum Away. Included in the kit is an extension handle, the canister with pre-installed cap, and a universal adapter to fit nearly any drain. Using this thing is pretty simple. Just place it over your target and give it a firm press to fire it off. The universal adapter can be utilized in a traditional plunger style, or you can flip it over to fit it down the drain as well. For those deep water applications, you can just slide the extension handle right over the base of the can and make that magic happen without getting wet. We created a makeshift drainage system out of this modified bathroom caddy, and even dropped in some clear pipes. Balling up some paper towels in conjunction with some water, an egg, and some savory grease, a monster was made to put the Plum Away to the test. This tasty treat was then mashed into a cylindrical shape and skillfully shoved through the pipe and into the P-trap. Yep, that's what it's called in case you didn't know. For good measure, the clog was topped off with more delicious slurry and left to sit out for about half an hour. With time up, a little colored water was added to the pipe to confirm that the clog was sufficiently lodged into place, preventing any flow whatsoever. All that's left is to shake up the canister and position it directly over the drain. Once in place, just press down on the can firmly. When activated, the Plum Away fires a powerful jet of aerosol right down into the pipe, and it forcefully expels all the clogs that were in its way. After running this thing several times, we've gotta admit, the results were phenomenal and completely effortless. All that was left was to run some more water through the pipe and give it a final blast, expelling any remnants and making way for the green Gobbler. That's right, folks. This emulsifying packet of goodness will clean your pipes in an eco-friendly way. Once you get the contents of the cylinder out, you've got the solution packet, a drain snake, and some instructions. Now, you don't really need the instructions because they're actually printed right on the exterior of the packaging. With the commercial claiming that the green Gobbler works on grease, organic matter, and paper, amongst other things, a strip of cardboard was dipped into the slurry bucket and jammed into the end of the pipe, thumb style. After moving it into position with the clog creator, some green water revealed that the real seal hadn't occurred. A few paper towels were then inserted as a final plug, and the water was dumped from the pipe. The solution was then poured into the drain a little bit at a time with some hot water to back it up and kick it into high gear. Since the commercial showed a time lapse of Gilbert Gobbler in action, the solution was stirred and left for a half hour to see how much damage it could do to the blockage. Coming back to check, well, not much. Upon return, some blue food coloring was added to the water, with none of it making through the barrier. Even a mini plunger didn't help much, so the drain snake burst onto the scene. Poking, prodding, and writhing around for about a minute, there was finally a little bit of movement. With the situation reaching critical mass, we busted out Tom Crapper's trusty sidearm. Placing the plunger directly over the drain, our movement was made the old-fashioned way, clearing the pipes out with relative ease. As you can imagine, we were famished, so the team headed over to the Household Hacker kitchen to whip up some burgers and a fresh batch of greasy runoff. Our team foreman provided generously, and the green Gobbler had one more chance to make things right. The grease was poured into the drain and allowed to harden for about 20 minutes. After that, we poured some water in slowly and put a little food coloring in there to ensure that it had solidified completely and blocked the pipe. Once again, the green Gobbler was added, stirred, and did nothing at all for quite some time. Here's a 30-minute time lapse of the Gobbler attempting to make its way through the grease barrier. You can certainly see a little movement, but nothing particularly promising. Giving up on just the powder alone, Old Snake Plissken joined the party and dived down deep into the La Brea grease pits. Surprisingly, this started to break up the mass eventually, allowing it to be mostly expelled after adding some hot water from the top. Now, whether the drain snake did all the work or if the green Gobbler contributed to breaking down the greedy grip of the grease is certainly up for debate, but suffice to say, The only green that this gobbler gobbles comes straight from your wallet. Next up is the clear drain, which we've dubbed around the office the poopy pickaxe. This masterpiece in excess claims to blow a hole in its competition using the power of CO2. Quickly and easily snipping the package open, the contents will slide right out once you perform a feat of strength. There's a removable cover that conceals the cartridge chamber, some included CO2 canisters, a dual-use plunger. There's also a thin sheet of plastic that can be used as a toilet splash guard or a youth poncho. Oh right, and we've also got this little bag of small discs. These single-use discs are installed into the body of the device to ensure maximum pressure is reached when the unit is engaged. Installation couldn't be simpler. Just slide the cartridge into the end of the pickaxe and then screw on the yellow tip. That's it. Since this beast is sure to impress, a new clog was created using the burger grease collection from earlier. Unfortunately, it wasn't extremely agreeable and just wanted to stick on everything. The executive decision was made to jam it up with both the grease and the glove. Again, a half hour was given to allow the clog to really get in there. Initially, the plunger tip didn't quite fit the drain, but when flipped over, it allowed a proper seal to be established. Once lined up, you just give this thing a very slight push down and whoosh! Out goes the clog. And you can really see the insane power this thing puts out, which led us to our next test. Our test bench was aimed towards the wall, and this Iron Man mast made for a great test target. We clogged the pipe with an assortment of deliciously coated paper towels, so essentially a giant spitball. Finally, the unit was reloaded with a new cartridge and fired off. Direct hit. As far as the clear drain is concerned, I love you 3000. Rounding out our list today is the Sani 360. Once removed from the packaging, it was evident that this foaming cleaner isn't so much for cleaning pipes as it is for masking that wet dog food smell that's seeping out of your shower drain. Between clogs, we did use the Sani 360 to bring a spit shine back to the test bench and cover up that funky burger grease aroma. You just blast the foam into the drain and hope that it's making its way through the pipes. Now, because of our patented clear pipe technology, you can see that the water in the P-trap actually stops the foam from going any further. Obviously, when you pour some water down the drain, it will eventually make its way through, but that means that only the upper portion of your pipes are getting purged, while the Sani 360 merely pass through the rest. So in closing, the Sani 360 is a temporary solution to a lasting problem, and that awful smell is going to return with a vengeance. Just like John McClane in my favorite movie, Die Hard 3. Yippee-ki-yay, Green Gobbler! We'll see you next time.